Guthrie, Oklahoma is your destination for festivals of all kinds, including the Guthrie Art Walk held every fall and every spring. The 89ers celebration commemorating the land run of 1889. Check out the Oklahoma International Bluegrass Festival with bands from around the world. The Guthrie Road Show with cool classic cars. The Guthrie Escape featuring art, wine, and music. Make your next destination Guthrie, Oklahoma.
This is Motor Coach Travel News, MTN, from the American Bus Association. Here's Dan Ronan.
Welcome to a special edition of the American Bus Association's Motor Coach Travel News. I'm Dan Ronan. We're coming to you today from historic Fort McHenry in Baltimore and the announcement of the top 100 places to visit in 2014 on a motor coach. We are happy to announce that Baltimore's Star-Spangled Spectacular is the top event in the United States to visit on a motor coach. It commemorates the bicentennial of a key moment in the War of 1812. We all know the lyrics and melody to the national anthem, but do you know why Francis Scott Key wrote them? It was here at Fort McHenry, U.S. forces held off a fierce British attack as the War of 1812 had stretched into 1814. And at the end of the battle, Key wrote a poem called The Defense of Fort McHenry. More than 100 years later, in 1931, the lyrics, having been put to music, became the national anthem. We're also pleased to tell you that Quebec City, Quebec's International Festival of Military Bands is the top Canadian event to visit on a motor coach. And in an upcoming edition of MTN, we'll have more on the big event in Quebec City. There's a lot more about the ABA's top 100 events to visit on a motor coach. The web address is on your screen.
Joining us now to talk about Baltimore's Star-Spangled Spectacular is Bill Pensek. He's with Maryland's Department of Business and Economic Development, and he's the executive director of the Maryland War of 1812 Bicentennial Commission.
Bill, give me an overview of what's going to take place here with the Star-Spangled Spectacular.
A year from now, Star-Spangled Spectacular will be taking place here at Fort McHenry National Monument and Historic Shrine and all over Baltimore's Inner Harbor and out to Baltimore County, where the events took place of the Battle of Baltimore. 10 days of free festival featuring the Blue Angels, gray hulls and tall ships from around the world, concerts, and land festival, events on the water, the biggest fireworks and light display ever, all free.
Why are we having the events? What's the significance?
We like to think of the events that took place here at the fort and in Baltimore right up there with Pearl Harbor or the events of 9/11, where just 2.5 weeks after our nation's capital was destroyed by a foreign power, the citizens of Maryland, with help from their friends from Virginia and Pennsylvania, faced down the greatest military power in the world and prevailed against all odds.
So here on that morning, Francis Scott Key is watching out in the harbor what's taking place, sees the bombardment, and then the next morning pens this magnificent poem that more than 100 years later becomes the national anthem.
The 4 verses, the first verse that we sing, we think we're so familiar with, is a very long question. He's asking, is the flag still there? And he was inspired on the morning when the smoke cleared, when the big flag was raised, that the flag was indeed still there.
What are you doing to make this event appealing to bus and to group tours?
Baltimore and Maryland have really made a focus on attracting the group tour, the bus tour market. There are special new facilities here for parking, for staging, for drop-off and landings. Both the Maryland Office of Tourism and Visit Baltimore have planned a whole series of events, concerts, opportunities for dining to cater to the group tour market. We are ready to greet people from all over.
Joining us now at historic Fort McHenry is the mayor of Baltimore, Stephanie Rawlings Blake. Mayor, why is tourism so important to a city like Baltimore?
Tourism is important to Baltimore, but more importantly, more specifically, historic tourism. You know, we have the 200th birthday of our national anthem, and we are standing on the ground where the flag where Francis Scott Key looked as he wrote our anthem, and it's so important that all Americans have a chance to experience that. Very happy, very proud that the American Bus Association has chosen Baltimore as their #1 event for next summer. We're going to be celebrating the 200th anniversary for the national anthem, September the 6th through the 16th, 2014, and it is the Star Spangled Spectacular.
The city has really embraced motor coach travel, so why have they done that? What is the lure of having buses come to the city?
Not every city appreciates and accommodates bus traffic, but Baltimore's tourism infrastructure has accommodations in place. We plan for bus tours, whether it's at the aquarium or whether it's at the Fort McHenry Shrine and Museum. We make buses welcome, and we make sure that if you're on a motor coach, you have a place to park, and we make it very easy for tourists.
More than 20 years after the United States won its independence from Britain with the American Revolution, the War of 1812 settled many unresolved issues.
Joining us now to talk about the historical significance of Fort McHenry in that war is U.S. Park Ranger Vince Vase.
What's the historical significance of where we're standing?
Francis Scott Key was about 4.5 miles on the Patapsco River off of Fort McHenry looking through a spyglass, wasn't sure who won the battle. And then by dawn's early light, when the morning cannon was fired off the ramparts of Fort McHenry and the giant American flag hoisted, he realized that a powerful morale victory was won.
So if a person comes here, then they can get a guided tour of this facility, look around, it's open during the day, there's a lot of things to see.
Any visit to Fort McHenry is full board immersion into American history. So we have an award-winning movie that you can see that really sets it up, gives you that rush of emotion. It ends with the Naval Academy Choir singing the Star Spangled Banner. We have exhibits like original cannonballs that were fired from the fort. You can go through the fort. We have new exhibits in the fort that detail how the battle went, but also what it was like to be here at that time. What was it like to live at Fort McHenry? Baltimore.
By now you should have received the ABA's 2014 top events to visit on a motor coach. These are great, group tour friendly events. Back in a moment from Baltimore with the Green Operator segment, sponsored by MCI.
This coach runs on diesel, which is about 30% more efficient in its combustion than gasoline. But I know what you're thinking. Diesel isn't clean burning. But that's no longer true, because today's ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel is cleaner than ever. Check this out. See? It burns clean. All aboard the Green Highway.
MCI, ultimate curb appeal, uncompromising reliability.
Are you a motor coach industry leader who believes in running an environmentally responsible company with green business practices? Are you upgrading your fleet, adding or replacing coaches to increase fuel efficiency and lower tailpipe emissions? When you talk with your customers, are you telling them about the environmental benefits of motor coach travel? And wouldn't it be great to have an honor that you can use to raise market awareness of your company and enhance your image within your community? The American Bus Association's Green Spirit Award, sponsored by Motor Coach Industries, is a way for your company to be recognized by your peers and everyone else for your environmental stewardship. The Green Spirit Award will be presented during ABA's Marketplace in Nashville, Tennessee, January the 11th through the 15th, 2014. The Green Spirit Award is based on 3 aspects of a company's operations: administrative, maintenance and equipment, and facility practices. Please complete and return the Green Spirit Award nomination form to ABA Foundation at buses.org. That's ABA Foundation at buses.org, or by fax to 202-842-0850. Go green, be an industry leader. Submit your company's nomination for the Green Spirit Award, sponsored by MCI. There's more information about all of the top 100 events at buses.org. Our thanks to all the good folks here at Fort McHenry who have assisted us to make the broadcast possible. For all of us at the American Bus Association, I'm Dan Ronan. We'll see you back here next month on Motor Coach Travel News.